Sandy!
There was visiting issue.
So, did you guys share intel with CID? You know why they'd be looking at a Schaeffer?
Well, if he's talking a bunch of smack up there, you know, if he's having any kind of interaction with military folks, I look at it. Well, if he's talking a bunch of smack up there.
Greetings, everyone. This is Rudy. It's July the 11th, the year 2017. An important audio clip has recently been located and identified, and I would like to play it for you. However, I've got to give you the context so you'll know what you're listening to. I've done previous videos on the Pikes Landing event, which occurred on June the 11th, 2010, which was a Friday. And the Pikes Landing event was where Schaeffer was talking to Bill Fulton, and Bill Fulton recorded the entire conversation, and supposedly Schaeffer made all these threats against judges and criminal activity. Now, the next day, on June the 12th of the year 2010, was what's called the Blondie's incident, where Bill Fulton lunges at Les Zerbe with a knife and threatens to slit his throat and bleed him out at his feet with a bunch of expletives. Then also on February the 5th of the year 2011, there's the Millennium Hotel event, which is where Gerald J.R. Olson, the $300,000 whore, and Lonnie Vernon and Bill Fulton are all in a room together. You have two informants. They don't even know each other as an informant, and they're trying to set up Lonnie Vernon. Poor Lonnie, who's just, surrounded with informants on every side, and he's totally outnumbered. But during the Millennium Hotel event, Bill Fulton told Lonnie and Gerald J.R. Olson to remember Schaeffer, which is remind Schaeffer of when I almost killed Les, that Schaeffer needs to come up with a violent plan. Okay, so you got those three incidences. Pikes Landing, June the 11th, 2010. Blondie's event, June the 12th, 2010. And then you also have the Millennium Hotel event, February the 5th of 2011. Now, another important fact to remember is that the Pikes Landing event was fully recorded by Fulton. The entire day was recorded. But supposedly, the FBI told Fulton to destroy the evidence because they were so concerned about proper evidentiary collection procedures. And they didn't tell Fulton to record it, he just recorded it on his own. And so they told Fulton to destroy this recording that would have had Schaeffer making all of these death threats. Okay? That's absolutely a total line of BS. If you ain't figured that out, then you haven't been paying attention to the story. The reason they had Fulton destroy the tape was because it showed that Schaeffer was rejecting all of Fulton's calls for violence. Okay, so we don't have that original tape. But what we do have is when Fulton went and met with his FBI handler, the primary one was Sandra Klein, who is the supervisor of the Joint Terrorism Task Force FBI division in Anchorage, Alaska. She was unavailable. So Fulton went and met with Westerhouse, FBI Special Agent Westerhouse, who also works for Sandra Klein, the supervisor of the Joint Terrorism Task Force in Anchorage. Unbeknownst to Westerhouse, so Westerhouse is an FBI Special Agent. He's filling in for Sandra Klein. He's meeting with Fulton for 2 hours, and what do they do during this 2 hours? They listen to the recording that Fulton recorded on Pikes Landing event on June the 11th of 2010. Now, Westerhouse doesn't know he's being recorded. And Bill Fulton's just recording everybody. He's recording Schaeffer, he's recording FBI. He's just a recording son of a gun, right? And he don't tell anybody that he's recording. Reminds me a little bit of Racer X. Okay, so you got Bill Fulton recording Westerhouse, and I'm about to play for you a portion of that clip. And Bill Fulton just asked Westerhouse straight up, hey, why are we even interested in Schaeffer? Let me read you the exact words so when you hear it from his mouth, you'll know. He says, this is Bill Fulton now. He says, let me find it. Oh my goodness, where is it? Oh, here he goes. Fulton says to Westerhouse, "You know why they'd be looking at a Schaeffer?" And then Westerhouse responds, and this is important. He says, "Well, if he is talking a bunch of smack up there." In other words, the FBI did not know they were being recorded, and Westerhouse, FBI special agent, admitted that they were looking into Schaeffer because he's talking smack about the government. Well, the truth of the matter is that, it is the right and the duty of Americans to talk smack about their government when they see a corrupt government. That's what Americans do. And we don't get investigated by the FBI and the Joint Terrorism Task Force like the Gestapo and the Stasi used to do and thrown in prison because we talk smack about our government. Do you understand that the FBI just admitted that the reason Schaeffer got on the radar was because he talks smack about the government? But that's about 90% of us. I don't know any red-blooded, patriotic Americans that don't talk smack about the government, especially this government and how corrupt it is. So I hope I set the context up for you properly. I'm going to play the audio. Listen very carefully and go back and listen to it again if you need to. Thank you for your time. And I'll close down now. The last line of peaceful defense between a tyrannical government and the defendant is jury nullification. Educate yourself about jury nullification at fija.org, Fija.org. And here's the audio of FBI Special Agent Westerhouse admitting they're looking into Schaeffer because he's talking too much smack.
Where's Sandy?
Bill is visiting. Is he?
So, did you guys share intel with CID? You know why they'd be looking at a Schaeffer?
Well, if he's talking a bunch of smack up there, if he's having any kind of interaction with military folks, look at it. Well, if he's talking a bunch of smack up there,